People, good evening. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're all doing very, very well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Also, if you have Instagram, give me a follow, Ade Oladipo. All right, last video before we fly out to Jeddah. I'm looking forward to getting out there. I do fly out tomorrow. I should have gone today, but I did have other commitments which I had to fulfill. So we are flying out tomorrow instead. Everyone seems to be out there, so looking forward to seeing some familiar faces. Now that we know DAZN has the international rights, I do think I am interviewing both AJ and Usyk as soon as I land, and Eddie Hearn, and I think Callum Smith as well, and Ramla Ali. So pretty busy, pretty stacked as soon as I get there, but I'm more than happy to kind of get busy when I get there. Also doing some stuff for TalkSport, and as I said, we are going to do some stuff for the YouTube channel as well. I'm going to try and get on as many people in my spare time as I can and make as many videos as I can as well. So should be a lot of content coming your way whilst we're out there. Not long to go, people. Not long to go, man. There is a few photos floating around of AJ looking a bit smaller. Sometimes you just don't know with these photos, angles, lighting, you never know, but he does look a bit leaner. I'm guessing that means he's going to come in very low 17 stone, which still is massive. When I think of that, still a massive, massive human being, but it's going to be lighter than we're used to, at least lighter in recent times, apart from obviously that Andy Ruiz rematch. Look, I mean, you know, I've asked AJ about this sort of size thing before. I think I spoke to him before the Pulev fight, and I asked him about his size, because obviously, look, we've seen him really big. I'm never going to forget Carlos Takam, where he was massive, honestly, like a bodybuilder. And he just says, he just trains. He trains now, and when it comes off, it just comes off the weight, whether that's sort of something they're looking at or it's something that naturally happens, I don't know. I think they're looking at it this time. I think AJ has spoken about the fact that when he fought Usyk before, he did want to outbox him, but the gas tank just ran empty. I never really think AJ was, I don't want to say he wasn't hurt, because there were times in that fight where I felt like he got tagged and his legs buckled, but a lot of that can just come down to exhaustion. Sometimes it is just, I am shattered. It reminds me a bit of when Yard got put down with a jab by Kovalev. That motherfucker just looked tired. And sometimes I think AJ, rather than being hurt against Usyk, sometimes I think he was just shattered. So maybe they are sort of working on sort of the long run here. This going 12, you know, AJ having these points, and, you know, AJ maybe landing some good shots, but maybe they're thinking this goes 12 and AJ needs his stamina for 12. And look, you prepare for 12. I mean, you get the guy out there earlier, fine, but you prepare for 12. In fact, you prepare for 15, right? You want to get to 12 and know that you've got a few more rounds in there. That's what you want to do, right? So yeah, AJ looks a bit smaller. I don't know, man. I'm trying to just sort of, so I think someone left the comment and said, Ade, remove your AJ hat when you're talking about this fight, and it's difficult to remove it. But I also understand what's in front of him. Like, as much as I'm a big AJ fan, I fully understand the problems that Usyk possesses. He's unbeaten, he's a southpaw, he's now a fully fledged heavyweight, so he's big. There probably won't be more than, there might not be more than half a stone between them, you know. I'm serious. I mean, Usyk probably might walk into that ring 16 plus. But anyway, look, in front of AJ is a big one. It's this is no easy task, but look, with him, he's got Robert Garcia. And Robert Garcia is a very, very good trainer. I was going to say he's a mastermind and he's a tactician. I'm not sure if he's that, but he's a good trainer. He's a good trainer. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can bring to AJ. I'm looking forward to seeing how AJ looks in the first 2 or 3 rounds. And then I'll know immediately. Like most of you are boxing guys. And I think after a couple of rounds, you can kind of just gauge how a fight's going to play out. Look, sometimes someone might land something, but most times you can kind of just work it out. Once a fighter gets into a rhythm, it's difficult to shut that rhythm down. And if AJ allows Usyk to get into any sort of rhythm early, then it's gonna be a problem. But I do hope that in Robert Garcia, of all the trainers that are out there that AJ could have chosen, Robert Garcia is the most aggressive. When you think of Robert Garcia fighters, they literally go that way. So hopefully some of it rubs off on AJ. some of it. We know as well that he's been training with Robert Garcia since December, so it's a long time. Yes, it's not fight camps, but I mean, you try and mimic a fight camp as much as you can. So I don't know, sparring in a sense mimics it, right? Doesn't it? Not the same, but it mimics it. So look, let's just hope that we see a better AJ, a more confident AJ. I've noticed that on his shorts during sparring, I think there's been a line like Killer Instinct or something like that. It's almost like he's trying to get into his own head, that's what he has to be here. But I really do believe AJ can win this fight. I really do believe it. I don't, you know what it is? I've seen, covering the sport of boxing, just as a fan, and now as obviously as a job, I've seen so many great fighters, and I've seen so many great fighters lose. I've seen it. I'm like, wow, my God, didn't expect that. Like, even when Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez, and look, I know Lomachenko had lost to Salido previously, but I've seen great fighters lose. Now, is Usyk an all-time great, or is he just a great fighter? We might find out. Well, we will find out. We will find out. I think a lot of people, you know, a lot of people are thinking that Usyk can knock AJ out as well. A lot of people thinking he can stop him if AJ kind of turns it up and Usyk's still there and AJ's gas tank or the meters run empty. People think that maybe he can stop him. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we're out there. So we leave tomorrow. I think I have a stop somewhere. There's unfortunately no direct flights. I think I have a stop. I actually have a stop in Riyadh, which is in Saudi Arabia, and then I fly to Jeddah. But regardless, I'm very excited to go. I mean, it's crazy how 3 years ago when I covered AJ Ruiz, obviously, look, I'm lucky now and I put my hands up. But I paid for myself to go out there, obviously own hotels, whatever, right? Just to see if I can get some work out there. And when I was out there, that's when I reached out to like ESPN Africa and a few other YouTube channels over here. And so look, I'm out here, like I can give you some content, and that's how I kind of made it pay. And it's so good to know that I'm actually getting paid to go out there and watch AJ and speak to AJ. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting times. What we got here, I didn't even know about this until I read it earlier, that Adrian Broner, what's this one? What's this? Ben Whittaker is on the AJ undercard. Is that true? Sorry, we'll talk about Broner in a second. Yeah, Ben Whittaker is going to have a fight against Petar Nosic on the AJ undercard. Jesus. Bloody hell. That has literally just been announced. Bear in mind, Ben Whittaker is part of 258 management. Obviously, he's a Sky Sports fighter. This is on Sky Sports as well. So, yeah, okay, well done. Well done to him. Back to Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is out of his fight against Figueroa. He's cited mental health reasons, mentally not ready. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's the last time he's given an opportunity by Showtime. The card still will go ahead. Lipnitz will now take on Figueroa, but I think I'd be surprised if they just haven't washed their hands of him now. Don't get me wrong, he still might be, you know, someone that other broadcasters want to take a look at, but for me, it's done and you move on from the Adrian Broner situation. I just hope, you know, when someone like Broner talks about mental health, and I just hope that Broner's okay. Because Broner, it looks like a very slippery slope, and I don't see anyone helping him. There might be people behind the scenes, I don't know, but from the outside looking in, it looks like this man is by himself sometimes. So I hope he's okay. But look, at least the card goes ahead and all the fighters that were, you know, getting ready for that fight get paid. Golovkin, Canelo's achieved a lot, but there are questions on how he did that, what he used. Golovkin ain't stopping, is he? He ain't buying the Mexican beef thing with the clenbuterol last time. He thinks, and look, he's in his right to think this, by the way. Whether he's wrong or right is another thing, but he's in his right to think this. He was going to fight Canelo second time round, and Canelo popped for clenbuterol. Now, look, Canelo and his team have since proved, or at least proved to the State Athletic Commissions, that it was contaminated beef. Golovkin ain't buying that. He's like, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. So, hey, look, it all adds up to what's going to be a really good fight, September 17th. Say it again. This ain't going to be no walk in the park for Canelo. Look, he might get thingy out of there, Golovkin, but I'm telling you now, Golovkin's going to dent him as well. Golovkin ain't... Golovkin is going out on his shield if he's going out. And to Canelo's going to have to chop that man in half to put him down. I can't wait for it. I really can't. Eddie Hearn, not buying Fury's retirement, sees it as a publicity stunt on the eve of Usyk Joshua. You never know with fighters. Even if it's true, even in his mind he has retired, fighters always come back, don't they? It's so good that some fighters never did, like your Carl Frochers and your Joe Calzaghes, but most fighters do run it back. I think we've seen it. You remember when Ricky Hatton came back and he fought, what's that guy's name again? That he fought. Paulie beat that guy for the title. I think even Thingy fought him, Kell Brook. I can't remember the guy's name, but you know who I'm talking about. Fighters always seem to come back. So we'll see. Teofimo Lopez, we want Taylor, Prograis, Zepeda. We want to be a two-time world champion. A good win for Teofimo Lopez. Gets hit. Like, look, he's clearly better at 140. He even looks like a big 140, like he could go to 147, doesn't he, already? And he will go to 147. But all those names he mentioned, I think Taylor beats him, I think Prograis beats him. Zepeda, not sure about Zepeda, but I think those two beat him. But I do think it's going to be a really good addition to 140. I think it's going to be exciting, so it'll be good. What else have we got? I think this might be that, you know, it might be a very quick one. WBC president, we've given Tyson Fury until August the 26th to confirm retirement in writing. Now, if he does that, I do wonder, if he relinquishes that WBC belt, I do wonder if they will do, obviously not enough time for AJ Usyk, I do wonder if they're going to do it or have that belt up now for Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker, who I believe are number 2 and 3 in the WBC rankings. I think Wilder's number 1. Go figure. But I think they should put that up. That'll be really, really good. That would, for that to be a world title fight. I'm not going to argue and say if it deserves to be a world title fight. I just think if he's gonna vacate, then who next? That's what you do, right? You don't do Helenius Wilder. You don't do Andy Ruiz Ortiz. You might as well give it to Joe Joyce Parker. I really do think you should. 2 top 10 guys in most people's rankings, plus again number 2 versus number 3, I believe. Broner again talking. He spoke about, obviously that Broner's not fighting this weekend, but he spoke about fighting Mayweather in an exhibition. Now he's talking about Maidana. Just stop. David Lemieux has announced his retirement from the sport of boxing. I mean, that guy would always have my respect for taking on Pete Golovkin. People might remember him for the Billy Joe Saunders fight and when Billy Joe Saunders done that, but I remember him trying to go toe-to-toe with Pete Golovkin, toe-to-toe. But he could crack. David Lemieux really could. Limited in terms of boxing ability, but in terms of willpower and that want to win, you have to respect him. So good luck in his retirement, David Lemieux. I think his dad passed away as well. Did his dad get shot? I think I read somewhere about his dad get shot. Could be wrong. But good luck to David Lemieux in his retirement. Yeah. All right, guys. The next video from me will be in Saudi Arabia. But it'll look a lot different from this background. But wish me luck out there. Peace.